Welcome, everybody. I want to personally welcome everyone to this Saturday session with Joi-Louise Hall, who is a really, she's a fabulous person and newly, I think you became a Juzo Ambassador, what, maybe a month ago or 2 months ago over the summer?
I would say, yeah, probably that. I was like say end of June.
Yeah. Okay. So I've been following you ever since you reached out to me. I've been following your page. I absolutely love your content, and
Thank you.
you are a fashion owner. You have your own fashion brand.
So I own a boutique called Shop Joi-Louise, and it is actually launching. I'll be saying it here the first time. My followers are going to see it, and they're probably crazy. So it'll be launching October 30th.
Yay! That's fantastic. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I'm so happy for you. So I did create a blog, and I've sent it out to all of the Lymphie Strong, but basically I just wanted to have you on so that I could introduce you to the Lymphie Strong family, our community. We are a worldwide group, and we're always looking for people who are inspirational, just like yourself, who are thriving with lymphedema. Let me say, girl, you've got some sass. I love your attitude. I love your story on the Juzo blog. So tell us a little bit more about yourself, where you're from, what type of lymphedema you have, how long you've had lymphedema, and then how did you become a fashionista or create your own fashion line?
So I'm going to start with the how did I become a fashionista question. So okay. I think this really hit me a few years ago, but when I was little, like many little girls growing up in the early 90s, I was obsessed with Disney princesses. And as I'm like growing older and becoming more of a woman and understanding myself more in my 30s, which is a real thing, I am obsessed with transformations. So Ariel had a transformation, Belle had a transformation. These princesses were, shown to be like so miserable in their early lives, or not really understanding who they were, what they wanted to be, where they wanted to go. And I would read those two stories over and over as a kid. Well, I would have family members read it to me, but I was obsessed with the transformations. And I think that is what draws me to fashion, is you can literally become whoever you want to be. And I feel more myself. I feel more Joi-Louise when I get dressed. So I think that hit me from a very, very early age. Although I didn't understand what it was, I was just always drawn to it. And one of my grandmother's baby sisters was a super fashionista, like a bombshell in the 70s. She would crochet her own swimsuits. I came across one of her photo albums, and I took a few of the photos for inspo, and she was just a hottie. And I think that being around her, she was one who definitely read those stories to me. She had this trunk full of heels, and I was that little girl when someone got sick and tired of reading the same stories to me. I would go upstairs to, find the next person to read. And sometimes I would do it in her heels. So that was Joi-Louise as a kid. And that is definitely a strong reason why I love fashion.
And that resonates so well with me, because I remember being a little girl as well, and getting in my mom's makeup and wearing her heels as well. And I actually got in trouble once because, I think maybe I was 5 or 6, and I was clunking around the hallway, and I actually scuffed a few of her pairs. And, here I thought I was being sneaky and getting away with it, but my mother discovered they were scuffed, and of course she put 2 and 2 together and asked me what I was doing wearing her shoes. But yeah, that's so universal to have that sort of influence, especially as a little girl growing up, that, you admire certain qualities of your caregivers and the people that are around you and within your circle of influence. So how did you go from little girl to Joi-Louise, the adult?
So I would probably say it was around my junior, senior year of high school, I really started getting into fashion. That was when Project Runway was becoming a thing, and I wanted to go to fashion school. And right around my second year of college, I enrolled in a fashion school in Manhattan. It's called With Toby Coburn. And it was essentially a trade school, meaning they took out all of the extra filler courses, and it really focused you on design and construction, fashion history, textile elements. And I really was able to become engulfed by all things fashion, from, you know, making my own mood boards to understanding how garments are constructed, to production, to getting it on a sales floor. And then I went back to my college here in New Jersey. I went to NJCU, and I finished my marketing degree because I said, okay, now you know how to make this stuff, but you're going to need to know how to sell it. So that is what brought me to where I am today. And from interning and, you know, working as a PR girl, and even now working in customer service, everything has really come together to prepare me for this point. I never saw it that way before, but it definitely, I've learned all aspects of the business, and that is definitely why I am where I am right now.
That's absolutely phenomenal.
Thank
So glad to hear that. I personally as well, I love to watch people succeed. So it's like, of course, during this time, you developed lymphedema, right?
Correct.
And of course, you didn't let that stop you.
To be very honest with you, there was a time where it almost did. I would have to say very early on in my high school time, I started to notice the subtle differences in my right leg. So my mother has stage 4 lymphedema.
Okay.
And I was familiar with the condition. So that was, you know, that was a plus, because at least, you know, I didn't have a mom who didn't know what was going on and just kind of was at a complete loss. So I was familiar with what the condition was, but I was very much in denial about it because it wasn't as severe as my mom's. So there would be like subtle things, like say I would be out with friends. I would sit on my leg to hide it. I would always wear socks. It could be like 90 degrees out, and here's Joi-Louise, you know, at the house in her socks. But I just didn't want people to ask me questions about it. I didn't want it to be a conversation. I didn't want to be the girl with lymphedema. So there was a time where I was in denial about it, and I shunned it, and I didn't embrace it. I can remember at my church being in a singing competition, and we all had to wear the same outfit, but the only way that we could really express ourselves differently was with our shoes. And I got a pair of, they were like Mary Jane style, so they had an ankle strap, and for some reason that day it went over on my ankle, but every time I got up to walk it would snap open. And I remember looking at my mom, she knew what was happening, and getting like very upset. And I think from that day, I just tried to figure out how to embrace it. So I stopped wearing strappy heels for the longest time, and I would wear wide leg pants, and I would be in sweats, or I would always be in sneakers. And that wasn't me style wise. I love heels. I love, you know, strappy pumps, booties, boots, like whatever. And it wasn't until my late 20s, early 30s, where I found ways to be myself and still live with this condition. So whether that was making sure that any strappy heels that I wore came with strings that I could control the fit, as opposed to something that was, you know, super finite. Even if it was super finite, I would take a heel that I love. Like I got married in November of 2018. And there were these heels that I just loved. And I was like, you know what, I got to figure out how I can wear this. It's my wedding. I want what I want. I don't want to be in an ugly pair of shoes for my wedding. So I took these strappy heels to a shoe repair place and had them add elastic to the strap so that it was customizable for my ankle. So I really found ways.
Been there, done that.
Yeah.
I have so much in common. It's unreal. You're like a younger version. Well, not a younger version of me, but I so many commonalities are just screaming out at me.
Yeah, like I just was unhappy with not only was I hiding my condition, but I felt like I was hiding myself. So I was tired of that. And it wasn't until the beginning of this year that I really just stopped caring about it and just said, you know what, like, I'm going to live my life. And especially with the pandemic and, you know, everything that's happened in 2020 so far, I was just like, you know, life is short. Like, you're making this more of a deal than it really is. And either you're going to live your life because you only get one, or you're going to go back into hiding. And I did not want to do that. So this is where we are.
Okay. My father had lymphedema, stage 3, stage 4, and it took over 20 years for him to get diagnosed. And I was already 4 years into my own swelling. But I was just like you know, when it came to compression or to acknowledging it to my friends, I would hide. I would only wear compression during the winter when you couldn't see it. I insisted on wearing my strappy heels, my pumps, I got away. I don't know if this worked for you, but I got away with wearing a lot of mules. So because I could get the front part of the foot in.
Yeah.
The back part was swollen. So you didn't have to worry about a strap. You know, you could just slide in the shoe. And I remember my dad telling me, you know, you need to wear sensible shoes. You need to wear a compression bit. I was like, I want to be fashionable. I want to be with my friends. I want to wear shorts. I want to wear skirts. I want to wear cute outfits, you know. So it was a real struggle. So I completely understand what you're saying when you say that, you know, it took some time to get to 2020, you know, and it made, you know, talking about it, and I don't know if you agree with me or not, but talking about it sometimes sounds like it's oversimplifying the journey. You know, all those instances, I'm sure, where you were at a party or a holiday gathering and, you know, wanted to be so cute, but, you know, just couldn't find the right pair of shoes, right?
Right. And even now, I'm very limited in my footwear, but being able to have, you know, a strappy sandal or anything that works is more than I could like ask for, obviously. Because it used to be, you know, like double wide, ugly nursing shoes, and I'm not a nurse. So it's like, I am super excited that along with the plus size revolution, people are also seeing that having wide and extra wide footwear is necessary for not just because you naturally have wide feet, but people have conditions, and they're not conditions where you can't walk or not necessarily disabilities per se, but all shapes, sizes, kinds of people want fashion, and making it attainable is necessary. Yeah. So I am excited that I have access to footwear and things that work and also don't hurt my feet. Because I would probably say 2015 to 2016, I was wearing shoes and boots that were not good for my feet. Right. I mean, booties that
fashion. Let's take
right. They would cut my ankles. I have some scarring still left from wearing booties that were just not wide enough for me, and they just weren't available. And I was just like, you know what, like I feel good, and this is the look I'm going for, but I probably did a lot of damage to my skin, which is not good when you have lymphedema. So I'm glad that we're in a place today where people are opening up to making wider fit shoes.
Right. So that's a great segue. I mean, that's the purpose of us being here today, is to talk about all the great tips that you have from your fashion. I mean, you sound very technical when it comes to fashion. And so sharing the tips with the Lymphie Strong community is just going to be absolutely awesome. So let's just dive right into everything that you have to share with us today.
So I have 3 sites that I think would be very helpful for anyone looking for footwear for the fall. So I'm going to share my screen. Just give me one moment.
Let me know if I need to make you a co-host.
Let's see. I think you do.
Okay, I'll assign you co-host.
Awesome.
Okie dokie.
Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Awesome. I just want to make this bigger. Okay. So this is Shoedazzle. I've been shopping Shoedazzle since they launched, and I think this was maybe back in 2009 or 2008. So they've been out for a while. And as you can see, all of these boots here, super cute. And they range from dressier to casual. Like, these are my vibe. Like, I love these. Yeah. But as you can see here in the pink, they're available in wide and extra wide. So wow. It looks like Shoedazzle has just implemented extra wide for a lot more of their booties. Like how cute are these?
Yes, very fashion.
And what I love is like the zippers are here, so you could leave the zippers open if necessary.
Right.
That's another thing. Any boot that has elastic on the side, zippers, laces, those are really, really great for customizing how they fit. It's super important that you're not harming your foot. Compression is one thing, but squeezing, your toes and your heels and scarring your ankles like I did for the love of fashion, over time, that's not going to be good for your feet. And you need your feet to, to do everything, to get up and go to the stove to cook, to get up and go to work, to do whatever, take care of your babies. Like, you need your feet. So it's important that your shoes fit comfortably. Like these, I'm obsessed with. I'm trying to get my hands on a pair of white booties. But can you already see that the wide is sold out?
Right.
So there's a market for this.
We're not alone.
We're not. There's a market of women, even outside of the lymphedema community, that have wider feet and just want shoes that are not going to kill them at the end of the day.
Right.
So I also want to move into Torrid. Torrid has also been around for years, and I think that they have some of the most wearable boots. These new boots, like, it's like a brown, it's like a chocolate.
Oh my gosh, I love them.
Right? So these, it's a stacked heel, so it's like that boxed heel, which is super comfortable, especially when you're plus. And it really just, you can see here on the inside, there's a zipper. I love a lot of brands that are a little bit more discreet with the zippers.
I would totally rock those boots.
Right?
Totally.
So there's obviously the wide calf. They just look really so well made. And the price point isn't terrible either. Like those, I think said it was $79.50.
Oh, that's not bad for knee-high boots.
No, and then they're having 35% off
anywhere, and they run like up to 200 or more.
Yeah. So there's also like these hiker lug boots that are good for I don't know if you're going hiking or if you're more of an outdoor girl, you're definitely gonna
or even for that athleisure look.
Right?
Where you look like you're going to work out, but you're actually just lounging around.
Right. They kind of are hitting points for everyone. These are super cute too. So all of these on this page, I love these. These are like a good riding boot. I was not able to access these things when I was in high school. It just wasn't available. So
able to access stuff like that in my 20s. I mean,
different times.
Amazing. Oh, even glitter sneakers.
Oh yeah, glitter sneakers are a must.
I would rock those sneakers too.
See, like super.
That's stuff that blings. Like, I'm a blingy type person.
Yes, I love bling too. Oh, these look like little girl shoes. See, but these I would have to take to a shoemaker to have extended and so they can be comfortable. But that's also, I have to stress, this goes for plus, this goes for shoes. there's nothing wrong with altering and customizing your pieces to fit you. Nothing wrong with that. You're, you know, as unique as your fingerprint. And if you're super into fashion, don't be afraid to try anything out or test anything out, because you can always, 9 times out of 10, you can always adjust and alter things, even shoes.
Right.
So look at how cool these guys are.
Yeah, those are the mules. That's a lot of what I used to wear in my 20s.
Yeah.
Because my lymphedema also started out in my right ankle.
Okay.
And my left foot didn't swell for like another 10 years or so, 13 years.
And also, they go up to a 13, which
that is amazing.
Right? I think Shoedazzle stops at an 11, but Torrid goes up to a 13. So another tip for me, if a shoe doesn't come in a wide width, you can always size up.
Right.
So that is a trick that I use for my strappy shoes, and also for some boots, booties more so than like your knee boots, because it's more of, it's just a better fit overall. Sizing up is always an option, but obviously if something's double wide, or just, you know, wide in general, it's just a better fit. So lastly, I want to get into Lane Bryant shoes. Let's see. How cute are these?
Oh my God.
And these are the prints and colors of the season, you know, like your cognacs, your studded booties, python. There's always a good animal print. And these are just really fun and easy to wear. I love these. I love those rock this season.
You and I have very similar tastes.
Yes. So these are always great options. I mean, look at this shoe. This is sort of like a lower inch block heel. But if you look in really closely, that's Velcro.
Yes.
So they understand.
Thanks for highlighting that, because I've gotten away with a lot of shoes that I found, like, of course, not full price, but I do have a few pair from Nordstrom where it's exactly that, a Velcro strap.
So they understand that you need that customization. So like a shoe like this, I would definitely gravitate towards, for sure.
Right.
So I'm gonna stop sharing, and I want to take a second to, well, first I wanna ask, are there any other questions you had, or did you want me to jump?
No, I really just, wanted to cover a little bit about your background, which thank you for sharing, and the fact that your mom also had lymphedema.
Yes.
So I would say that, again, I feel like so many commonalities, right? I'm sure that it crossed your mind, like it crossed mine, that, my legs could progress as far as my dad at one point, and I had to do self-care. But, for the focus of this particular video, we understand that we don't have to sacrifice fashion, and we don't have to sacrifice our own personality and our own style. So that's why I was so excited to meet you and host you, and just, I'm sure, we could go on and on about living with lymphedema, but I think the audience really, really wants to get down to the nuts and bolts of fashion.
For sure. So I'm going to take a second to get set up back here. So I'm going to adjust the camera. So just give me one moment.
Okay.
Okay. Can you see
that? Yes. Oh, I already see that jacket. That turquoise jacket there.
This is a favorite for me, for sure. I wanted to start with accessories because they are very important, because they're like kind of what helps you to transition out of summer into fall. In fall, you can kind of still get away with some summer pieces. So I wanted to talk sunglasses, belts, and bags, and as well as some jewelry. So I love aviators. So these are a pair of oversized aviators. I'm gonna come in so you can see them. These I call like the run to get coffee shades, because cover your entire eye and you don't have to feel like I need someone to see that I got 2 hours of sleep and I have to be up for, whatever, the next 30 minutes. So those are fun. Then I think you're gonna love these as much as I do. These are a very fun
Catwoman,
almost like tortoiseshell style of I call these my Eartha kits, because I feel like she would definitely be wearing these.
Yeah.
So any of these, like this dress is definitely more of like a summer style, but adding leopard print to it, adding a leather jacket, adding these shades definitely is going to take it to another level and bring you into the fall season. So I am really big on sunwear, accessories, also belts, because I think they add a little something that a lot of us don't think about, because I think a lot of times we think belts have to be worn with pants, with denim, but you can wear them with dresses and turn something into a completely different look.
Right.
And
it's got a little bling too.
Yes, well, we love a little bling. So I also want to talk scarves. Scarves are super important for transitioning, because wearing something like this, say under a jacket, or you can even put it in with your hair. Let's see what we can do here. Now we're having fun. So if you're more of a casual girl, this is a denim jacket that you could really have fun with.
Wow.
I wouldn't necessarily wear it with the belt, but you can kind of see, I want to make sure I show a little bit of that color. Right. But it's like fun,
Yeah.
And you don't have to be freezing. You can imagine you have on maybe a pair of knee boots and you're out at a pumpkin patch, or you're at a winery with your girlfriends, and it's just like you're ready for the season and you look good.
Right. And when you look good, you feel good.
That is key. That is key. And I think a lot of people, especially during quarantine, I think a lot of people forget that. It was like, oh no, I'm working from home, so I'm living in my sweats. And it's like, no, eventually that's going to get old, and you got to get dressed because it's going to make you feel good.
Right.
And it's going to make your life easier. So I also want to talk about one thing that I discovered has been super helpful with wearing boots in the fall. I've never been able to wear socks that didn't cut my circulation off, didn't make me feel uncomfortable, didn't leave horrible indentations and bruises around, my calves and my ankles. But with, you're familiar with Xpandasox.
Yeah.
I am super excited to wear these under my boots and really feel completely warm. And I just think they're the greatest invention ever. You guys will hear me talk about them all the time. And this is definitely a staple accessory for me. I've been wearing them at home, working from home, but also to be able to put them on with knee boots. Like, these are one of my favorite pairs.
Mm-hmm. Oh, those are gorgeous.
Like, just a no-brainer. These are also wide width from Shoedazzle. So these are perfect. And being able to, like, that just fits under there perfectly.
Right.
And I don't have to feel uncomfortable, or I'm not wearing like a weird half pantyhose that rolls down. Like, just game changer with these.
And how did that make you feel? Like when you first came across Xpandasox, or when you first tried on your first Xpandasox, how did that make you feel?
So I was researching socks for wide calves, and because I was tired of being subjected to wearing like the half socks, the ones that literally just come around the foot, and by the time you walk to the car, they're halfway in the sneaker or in the shoe or whatever like that. So I saw these and I noticed the spandex portion on the back. And I said, well, that is interesting. So I ordered my first pair. And when I tried them on, like immediately I went upstairs and I took a selfie in the mirror and posted about them, like totally impromptu. I was just like, you guys, these socks are amazing and you need to get a pair because I'm just living in these. Like I'll walk around in them in the house more than I'll, do like a pair of slippers. Like they're that comfortable and they don't roll down. I can wear my compression socks under them and not feel like I'm sacrificing my fashion sense. So when I first got these, it was like the best feeling. I felt like more and more of myself was coming out and I would be able to express my style even more and not have to feel conscious about the swelling or, having to wear a compression stocking that was just all black and boring, which now with Juzo, I'm able to have access to amazing colors like this, where that is no longer, an issue. But it's good to have socks like the Xpandasox are like, I think the first pair that I got was like a zebra print. Like, I've never been able to wear zebra print socks.
That was my first pair as well.
The same person.
Yes. I've known Sharon for many, many years, and she's an absolute wonderful person. We are very, very dear friends, and Xpandasox is a sponsor of the Lymphie Strong Community as well as Juzo. So we have both of them in common too.
Yeah.
But my very first pair of Xpandasox was the zebra, and I was just over the moon to wear them because, like you, I felt the same way that I could only wear the socks that I think they call them crew. Is it crew or no show? They're called no show socks.
The no show. It's like we're like petties back in the day. Like it just weird. It's just not a good feeling when something is happening in your shoes. No one else knows, but there's nothing you can do about it. And it's just like such an uncomfortable. It just ruins the entire look. Because you're not comfortable, you shouldn't have to worry about what's going on in your shoes.
Right.
So I want to move into handbags because I love purses. And this piece I think is so fun and it is on trend for the season. Mm-hmm. So I know you're probably familiar with the term coin purse.
Yes.
So when I was little, my grandma had a few coin purses and I've always been obsessed with them. So I actually picked this up for my store and it is a large coin purse.
Back in the day when I was little, they used to have purses like that for cigarettes. And so I had several aunts that would put their, back then the smoking was cool, whatever, and they would stick their pack of cigarettes in a purse like that, in addition to their money.
And it's such a classy piece, so I get it. I just think that having a good bag definitely sets off an outfit. A bag that is also functional, that you can fit things into. I love bags that are clutches, but also come with straps. I like versatility and, being able to, let's say I love home goods. So let's say I'm in a new area, I'm with my girlfriends, we're going to brunch, it's a new space, and on the way out of brunch, there's a home goods. And then I can go crazy for hours in home goods. So having a strap like this available to throw this bag, over my shoulder is necessary. So bags that are functional, but also fashion, game changer for the fall season.
Right.
So,
and I like how your not to keep dragging lymphedema back into it, but would you agree that when you have or when you utilize or incorporate good accessories into your wardrobe, into your outfit, it distracts the eye from, let's say, looking at your swollen leg, looking at your legs or looking at your swollen ankle or swollen arm or swollen hand. The eye is drawn to the earrings or the scarf or the cute jacket. Would you agree with that?
For sure. I think that, and that brings me into this next piece. This is a hard clutch that I also picked up for my store. Having pieces like this, I think they call them conversation pieces, meaning somebody sees it, more than likely they're going to ask you about this before they're going to ask you, hey, what's wrong with your ankle?
Right.
Not that that has been an issue for me. That was always something that was in my head where I thought people were going to ask me what was wrong. 9 times out of 10, people never did. I don't know if it was out of fear for like, I don't want to make her uncomfortable. I've definitely heard more questions as I opened up about it and started, opened the line of communication around lymphedema, and started putting my literal leg in the forefront as opposed to hiding it, which is another thing that I used to do. I would always hide my leg. In photos, I would stand more with it to the back, or I would hide it behind a friend. Whereas now, I'm like, nope, it's out, here it is. So I think more or less, people will have conversations with you about your confidence, and they'll have conversations about, even people talking to me about my hair. People will talk about my hair before they'll talk about my lymphedema. So I think it's super important to work on your confidence and work on just living outwardly in your truest form, because that is what people are going to see first all the time, like 100% guaranteed.
Yeah, I remember the blog piece that you did. You said, I own it. It doesn't own me.
It took me a long time to get there. I mean, it's literally, lymphedema is a condition that there isn't a cure for, but you can control how it progresses and if it progresses. So whether that's your water consumption or making sure you're elevating, making sure you're wearing your compression garments, making sure that you have a lymphatic drainage routine, or that you're going to a therapist, those are the things that can help you maintain the condition, that I don't think I really tapped into again until late 2019, because I was just ignoring it. And I was just, I guess in the back of my head expecting it would go away. And it's like, she's not going anywhere. So definitely, you have to own it. And I always tie it back to me being a plus size woman. Like, there was a time in, I believe it was 2011, from 2011 to 2012, I convinced myself that I would be happier, I would be more beautiful, and I would get my first job out of college if I lost weight. And none of those things changed. None of those things happened. And it was important. I lost 90 pounds and none of that happened. I look back at pictures of myself and I could see how unhappy I was. And I think I'm going to do a post about that very soon and just kind of show the comparisons. The glow is just different. And a lot of times people talk about glow ups and people talk about transformations in reverse. It's usually when you lose the weight that people say, like, she's happier, her life's better, she got married. Like, I'm the heaviest I've ever been. And I'm the happiest I've ever been. So it's very much, you have to own who you are today. And if you choose to change anything, that you can change, because as we mentioned, there is no cure for this condition, but there is a cure for you being overweight if you no longer want to be. But you should never, I believe that you should never change yourself out of hate for yourself. It should always be, I love who I am right now, but I'm not feeling great. So I'm going to change the way I'm eating because I want to feel better. Like for me, I'm moving back into the keto diet because when I eat healthier fats and I have a higher fat ratio in my diet, I have less migraines. So I'm not doing it for the weight loss. I'm doing it to feel good. So it's all about loving yourself, and that's that self-care and that self-love. Migraines are no joke, and if they're lasting for days, you've got to do something to change it. That's a part of self-love. And I don't want to medicate myself. I don't want to go and have, you know, it's not collagen shots, but I know that they do. I forget the shots that the ladies.
You don't want to do Western medicine. You don't want to do it.
I don't want to inject things into my body when I can, you know, it's as simple as changing my diet. Yeah, so I know I have migraines, and the way that I can help, because I've tested it and I've seen results. This past week I've been on, you know, eating more ketone type foods, coffees and things like that, and I haven't had a migraine this week. So I know what I need to do, and I need to own that. So owning it in all aspects of your life is super important, and I really wish I would have found that out earlier on, but you have to own it.
You're bringing tears to my eyes, sister. You can just see how much you have learned, and how I'm almost at a loss for words at seeing how confident you are, how happy you are. And it's not because, like you said, someone else defined who Joi-Louise should be. You defined what your happiness was, and what your end goal in life was going to be. So I think that's so empowering. It's empowering is what it is.
Yeah, and I think that is a feeling, the feeling of empowerment, whether it's someone who is overcoming an injury and, you know, they feel empowered to walk to the mailbox and get the mail, you know, something that may be a struggle for them, but when they do it, they feel like they can do anything. I think that being self-empowered, but also there's empowerment in empowering others, which I had to find a happy balance for, because sometimes someone who's not ready to be empowered can feel attacked or just uncomfortable in general. So I kind of reeled myself in and worked on building myself up and empowering myself. And ironically, it's worked in full circle, where people are attracted to my self-empowerment, and it's doing what I've wanted it to do all along. So it's important to choose positivity on a daily basis. Even becoming an influencer this year, like, I made the decision to do it seriously in April of this year. And you would think 2020 for a lot of people has been a terrible year, but I saw it as an opportunity. When I saw that my job was going to have me working from home, you know, full time, I said, okay, I don't have to do an hour commute. I don't have to get in the car every day. I don't have to get up as early to do my makeup and get dressed and do all these different things. What else am I going to do with that time? And I said, I'm going to do this. And it's really been an opportunity. I've chosen to see the positivity in a year that has had so much turmoil for a lot of people. And everything, I truly believe that 90% of things in life are a choice. You know, like, I didn't choose lymphedema, but I can choose to live with it and not be controlled by it. You get what I'm saying?
I understand perfectly.
Yeah.
So what else can we do beyond the conversation pieces? You were just holding that purse, and see, you have a lot of goodies back there that I want to see.
I am big on leather this season. I'm big on leather every season,
all over
but
the place.
More so this season. So these are a pair of leather pants, and they're not a jogger. I'm not a fan of joggers, especially with lymphedema. They kind of squeeze at the ankle. So if I'm going to do something that's a bit more of a pencil style or a cigarette pant or more tailored, that's my route. A jogger is going to make me uncomfortable, and I don't want to cause any stress to my leg. We're gonna get into this faux croc jacket. How fun is that?
I love that jacket. I do. I love it.
Fun. And this piece is from ModCloth, which I think just kind of moved into plus, which I love. I'm gonna try this on you guys so you see, like, having a statement jacket, like something like this is more statement and trendy, but it's really so pretty. And I love the pockets. Very fun. This is definitely a moto style. You can zip it up, wear it with denim. I would even wear it with these leather pants for like a fun rocker look. I definitely become rocker chic in the fall. That's like usually my my area. And you're an animal print girl like me.
Yes, I am. Through and through.
A maxi. There's something so feminine about a maxi print. And if you have lymphedema and you're still struggling with your confidence around it, maxi dresses are a great way to still showcase your fashion and be fashionable, but not have your condition on display, so to speak. So this is great for any of the ladies that are still working on that confidence around this condition. This is another maxi. Really into rust colors all year round. But how gorgeous is this?
That's a beautiful color, especially for fall.
It's a layered ruffle. So I would 100% belt this because I feel like it is a little inconsistent all around. So you can imagine when you put this belt around here, breaks it up, and it looks really fun. And that can be a thin belt. It can be a wide waist. I love like the wide waist belts. Those are always fun. And I'm into sleeves. So like even with this dress, I love flirty pieces. Like this is fun. Having a little fun with the sleeve.
It's gorgeous on you.
Thank you. This
now, are you available for one-on-one consultations? Like, do you do any personal shopping for people at all?
Yes. So I am actually working on launching the Joi-Louise Hall website. So that will definitely be on there. I think that I used to assume that women just knew how to dress. Even me sometimes, being a fashionista, sometimes there are pieces that I see and I'm like, well, how would I wear that? And it isn't until I get into my closet and play around. It's important to, and we can get into this a little bit, it's important to have staples. So that's like your basic black dress, your basic black denim, camisoles, a white button down, a denim jacket that you love. This one is more trendy, but when you have a denim jacket that is just like your signature, like say you picked it up from the Gap or you got it at Old Navy, like those type of simple denim jackets are always easy. But a lot of trendier pieces, like something like this.
Oh, that's gorgeous. That's absolutely riveting. I love it.
I keep this out all year round because it just makes me so happy to look at it. But any pieces,
you know what? I think I went to the prom in a dress like that. It was like that shade of sequins, gold and hot pink.
Yeah,
I think it's absolutely stunning.
Anything like that is always going to be a little bit more difficult to style. But a jacket like that, I would wear with all black and keep it simple and make it about the jacket. So you don't have to be afraid to pick up trendier pieces like this or even like this. This can get scary fast. So this is a leather blazer that I love, but I would definitely dress it more or less with all neutrals, not necessarily all black, but maybe like with brown, something that is neutral and fun. But then I would carry a bag like this so that it's more about the bag. I'm still wearing the leather. I'm on trend. I feel great. I know I look great.
I know I look great.
And you don't have to overthink it. So I think that that is the key to building a wardrobe that transitions through the seasons, but 100% I will offer that service to people who just need help with seasonal wardrobes. Like I work on my wardrobe every season.
Yeah.
Every season, because I know that I have staple pieces that will work. Like I said, signature denim. Like these jeans, they're a regular light wash denim.
Mm-hmm.
You could pair that with this. You could pair that with this for a casual, fun look. You see what I mean about like staples?
Yes, yes.
So it's super important that you have those. But to the short answer, yes, I will be offering those services. And the colors, I have to say the colors for this season, much like your boots, definitely browns. Like this.
Yes, that's pretty. Very, very nice.
And it stretches, so you don't have to be uncomfortable or it won't lose its shape.
Mm-hmm.
Am I frozen, Veronica?
You were briefly, and now you're back. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to show you another bag. I think it's important to have statement colors in your bags.
Oh, that's, can I just buy the whole rack? Can you gift it to me and send it to my P.O. box? I can be your influencer.
We'll definitely talk about that. So this bag is another piece that will be available at Shop Joi-Louise.
Oh my God. That is the cutest thing I've seen in a long time.
And it's one thing that's cool, you can't tell through the camera, but it's rubber.
What?
Yes. So it's rubberized. It's like a rubberized material. So that means that you could put this down somewhere and it could get dirty and you could wipe it clean.
Oh my God. It doesn't look like it from the camera.
It doesn't. And it's so much fun because it can be a top handle like this.
What?
Isn't that
wow. That is amazing.
So I love having pieces like this because
dual function.
Yeah, you can add, like I would wear something like this, even with this sweater and like these leather pants.
Oh gosh.
And cute booties.
All right.
Veronica, did I do good?
You slayed it, baby. I told you were going to slay it.
So these are, and especially these really fun glasses. They look like readers, but they're not. But with a high bun and a sweater like this, like these glasses are cool.
Yes.
So I really care about everything, the bag, the shoe, the accessories. I think it really speaks to, I always say it speaks to your fashion identity. Mm-hmm. And you're not doing it for anyone else but yourself. You know, the compliments are nice, but it's all about how you feel. Some ladies don't need, you know, the bags and all that other stuff. Some ladies just want a simple black dress and some great heels and a pair, you know, like a strand of pearls, and that's enough for them. No matter what it is, it's just important that you look good for yourself and that you feel good. So that's definitely fall fashion, and I'm really excited that we got to do this.
Yeah, we're coming up on closing the hour. I don't want to take up too much of more of your time or your Saturday.
Well, I'm here.
I think I lost you. Oh, there you are. There you are.
I wanted to sit back down for you.
Yeah. So I know our viewers will probably ask, especially those with either upper extremity or truncal, issues. I know you and I are both lower extremities, so we tend to focus, you know, on the shoes and the pants and whatnot. I was thinking maybe next time, if you want to come back and visit me, we could talk about upper extremity or things to how to adjust for, you know, arms or pieces that you can wear when you have a swollen arm.
Yeah, and even a hand. I have a very dear girlfriend that I met actually on Instagram. Her name is Hardeep. She has it in her.
So we'll start from there. Okay, so I want to thank Joi-Louise for joining us here today. And just as a reminder to everyone who's tuned in, follow and subscribe to the new Lymphie Strong YouTube channel, and also follow Joi-Louise at Joi-Louise Hall on Instagram. Is there anywhere else that they can follow you, Joy?
So I also have the business page for Shop Joi-Louise. So that is all one word, Shop Joi-Louise on Instagram. And I am also on YouTube at Joi-Louise. That is just the full name, and you'll be able to find me there as well.
Okay, so I'll drop those links also in the YouTube channel. Are you on Twitter or, oh, you're also on Facebook as well, correct?
Yes. So everything will be all my name. So super easy to find me.
Awesome, awesome.